Hey, Tom, it's good to see you. I am so excited to talk to you today because you are celebrating a very special anniversary, 25 years as an independent financial advisor. This is such a big deal. You have 3 decades of experience, so many wonderful stories. I just want to congratulate you. And of course, let's dig in here. You didn't think that this is a profession that you'd be doing. So how did you get started?
Hi, Erin. Thanks for the kind words. I really do appreciate it. It seems like a long time, but also seems like a very short time as well. Just seems like yesterday I graduated from college. And that's where or how I fell into the industry. I graduated from college with a criminal justice major with a minor in German language and political science, thinking that I would go somewhere, take those and go somewhere in some field with those. But when I first got out of college, I needed a job until I figured out what I wanted to do. And I had a couple of friends that were in the industry, and so they gave me a job to start with. And from the minute I was in it, I just loved it. I loved being able to help people. I loved the fast pace side of it. I loved all the creativity that went along with it. So it was, once I got into it, I just loved it, and I never looked back.
Anyone who knows you, your passion for this is obvious. And I had asked you to send me some old time photos, and I am just so surprised that you don't age, because here's one. The only reason we know it's old is that, it's kind of on, just the big paper, but you said you still like to work that way.
I do. And if you look on the bottom right, it says something about Bernie Madoff too, which kind of gives
I know, right? It takes me back. And you mentioned this just a second ago, but I think that part of what motivates you, right, is of course helping clients. But every client, every family has their own needs. For some people, it's life insurance strategies. For some people, it's retirement planning. For a lot of people, it's college planning. So it's kind of about solving that puzzle that motivates you, right?
Absolutely. I equate it to building a house. Yeah. Everybody has an idea of the kind of house that they want to live in. So once we understand what that is, which is in our terms, goals and objectives, then my job is to go out there and create the blueprint. So once we've created the blueprint, then we can go out and find the right tools to start the actual construction of it. And that's one of the things I try to educate people on is that, hey, money is just a tool. Life insurance is a tool. A 401k is a tool. All these different things are tools that have a certain function. You have to understand what you want them to do for you. And again, if I go back and equate it to building a house, a hammer hammers in a nail. It can't saw a piece of wood. A screwdriver can't hammer in a nail. It has to screw in a screw, right? So once we understand the kind of house you want to live in, the blueprint, then we go out, find those tools to implement the construction of your dream home, which again, I'm equating to someone's retirement or financial success.
Right. Everybody's ideal home is very different. And so, of course, helping clients is one thing. But again, anybody who knows you well knows that you are also really motivated by helping younger advisors. I was listening to a podcast that you do with John Iammarino. Here's, a great photo of you recording the Retire Happy podcast. And you two were talking about how a lot of advisors are, they start out and they're only in the industry for less than 2 years because it is so challenging. So why is it important to you to be a mentor to these younger advisors?
I had great mentors throughout my career, and even still to this day, people like Ed Slott, the late, great Nelson Nash, the late, great John Naylor, Tom Hegna. I know I'm leaving some people out, but David Gaylor, Gary Reed, guys who took me under their wing as a young fella and showed me not only how to be an advisor, but also really kind of how to be a good person, how to understand that it's by doing the right thing for your client, for the people, that creates the kind of success, not only for you, but for them as well, which is the most important thing. We have to do the right thing by the client and help them find their success in order for us as an advisor to find success. And so I just want to give back. I've mentored many, many people. I've talked across this country at many, many functions to advisors, trying to educate them, teach them, help them, guide them. And it's great to see. The advisors of the future are going to be the people that take care of my daughter, my grandchildren at some point in the future when I'm not around anymore. And I want to make sure that the advisors today, we live in a very complex world that seems to get more and more complex as opposed to easier and easier. I want to make sure that the advisors of today have the same opportunities that I had and have the same motivation and the same leadership that I was given, that I've also been privileged to be a part of.
Absolutely. And it's more than even just helping advisors. I should let everybody watching know that when you and I were just talking, you said, all right, Aaron, I have 3 books. You need to go, you need to read them. So I know that also helping clients is really important to you. And I have this great photo that you sent about, an education-based relationship that you have with your clients, right? Making sure that they are in charge of their financial future and empowered to make the decisions that are right for them.
I tell people all the time, my opinion doesn't matter. Especially when clients ask me, well, what do you think? What I think or what my opinion isn't what matters. What matters is your opinion. What is it that you want? Everything has to be about the client that we do, because it's the client that we're working for. It's their goals, it's their dreams, it's their family, it's their financial legacy, which we are trying to provide or guide or give them strategies for, and ultimately help them find their success in that.
Yeah. And I think that education component is so important, because I think a lot of people are intimidated trying to figure out what's right. And when you and I were talking about the mistakes that people make with their money, it's that they're kind of being led into decisions through maybe large brokerage houses that aren't necessarily acting in their best interests. But you, as a fiduciary, are always acting in the client's best interest.
Well, that's part of my mandate, not only personally, but legally, right? First things first, I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror every morning and making sure that, yesterday or today, I've done or I'm going to do the right thing by the client. Because ultimately, this is the client's goals and dreams and objectives and family and legacy, not mine. So it's not for me to push an agenda or have just a certain, I'll equate it to going into the grocery store. The big brokerage houses, basically what they do is they make you buy off of the middle shelf when there's top shelves and lower shelves. But my job isn't to force a product or a company or anything of that nature onto a client. My job is to find the best one that works for the client. So I'm not captured by a mutual fund company. I'm not captured by an insurance company. As a matter of fact, I think I work with somewhere around 40 or 50 different insurance companies just in that arena.
Wow.
To make sure that we're getting the right vehicle for the client. Just a quick example is, some insurance companies find being a smoker not as great of a risk as others. Other companies think that, hey, someone with high blood pressure isn't as big of a risk as other companies who think high blood pressure is a big deal. So you have to really go out there and you have to find the company and the vehicle that fits the client, not the other way around. I'm not trying to pigeonhole a client into something that I want to sell.
No, exactly. I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, right? It's solving a puzzle, figuring out what house those clients want to build and helping them get there.
Right, exactly. If you look at these different pieces like a pizza pie, right? That's the Italian in me. We're trying to take all these little pieces and we're trying to put it back in the box, and all those little corners are going to touch to create that whole pie. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that we're giving you a pie, because all those pieces are integral to that whole pie. Right. They can't work independently and be effective or as effective.
Well, the Italian in you, Tom, has great genes. I am so happy for you. 25 years. I have it on my calendar, November 1st, coming up. It's
November 1st, 1996 was when I opened my shop. Yep.
Yeah. Well, again, congratulations. I'm so very happy for you.
Thank
If
you.
somebody would like to ask you some more questions about, again, building their house and figuring out this complicated puzzle, what's the best way to reach you?
So people can call me. My office number, 973-394-0623. Send me an email. If you want more information about me and my firm, you can go to the website, www.internationalfinancial.com. I'm an open book. I guess transparency is like a buzzword these days, or has been for a while. And we're very transparent, and looking us up on the website, you can find out all the information about us, including some of the charitable work that we do, things that are important to us, and we think important to the public in general.
That's great. Tom, thank you so much.
Thanks. I really appreciate it, Aaron. Thank you.